Earlier this year I found myself in somewhat of a creative rut, not producing a great deal of work with little inspiration flowing.
That worked like that.
It's a state that I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with, and I fancied getting back on the creative horse, so to speak. In order to do this, I decided to try and make a piece of music every day for 30 days. The creation process will be filmed, the music recorded, and then subsequently compiled into the soundtrack for this film. The challenge, whilst highlighting my limited musical skills, would mainly test my creative persistence. Overall, I was hoping to attain tools that would help me become creative on a more consistent basis. We begin our journey with a substantially hungover version of myself on New Year's Day, the first day of my challenge. I was thinking about what would be the start of a soundtrack. What do you want to find in the start of a soundtrack? And I was thinking there's got to be hope. It's got to be hopeful, optimistic of what's to come, and inspiring to some degree. So I'm going to try and do that. It's a new year, isn't it? It's a day of new beginnings, new opportunities. And you know, we've just got to seize that. Just grab hold of that opportunity and give it everything we've got. So that was the first piece of music I created in the project, and it wasn't very good, was it? Not just that, but I don't think I really enjoyed making it, and that was a theme that continued for the next few days. I was feeling largely directionless, not sure what I was going to get from the month ahead or what I even wanted my film to be about. I would sit down at my desk each day without a goal for the piece of music I was about to create. I needed a bit of a challenge to break the monotony of my experience so far. On day 4, I decided that challenging question would be trying to make a piece of music whilst maintaining a breakfast buffet to a fairly low standard. Sausages, bacon, mushrooms, tomatoes, hash browns, black pudding, yeah, beans. Sausages, bacon, mushrooms, tomatoes, hash browns, black pudding, yeah, beans. I was aware that the breakfast buffet song was not sonically groundbreaking, but it had certainly lifted my spirits for the project. The next day I woke up refreshed and excited to create my daily piece of music for the first time. Upon a trip to Tesco Express to purchase some free-range eggs that morning, I was hit with the inspiration I needed to get started. What a belter. Imagine the scenes at the self-checkouts with this on the store speakers. I felt like I'd peaked, but where there's a peak, there's a trough, and I was beginning to experience a fair few challenging days in my quest for creative consistency. Today is my 7th day of the project. It's finding it very hard to keep making stuff, and everything I make I think that's shit. I thought I'd feel like good making stuff, but to be honest, a lot of the time I just spend thinking, oh, that was rubbish, you're rubbish, everything's rubbish, and it's not a great way to think, is it? But today I'm DJing at Harley's this evening. Great little venue, fantastic venue. It's currently just past half 3, and I've got just over 4 hours to start my set, you know. I'm going to make a song now that I'm hoping to play later on. It's a very scary concept, I've never done that before. It's probably going to be rubbish, but you've got to do it, haven't you? You've got to go for it. In search of a starting point for this track, I decided to sample dialogue from the Channel 4 sitcom Peep Show.
Shit, he's done something there, hasn't he? How'd you do that? Big Beat Manifesto goes. Big Beat Manifesto goes. Big beats are the best.
This is some footage of me playing my song in Harley's later that evening, and although there was only about 6 people in the room, it still was a great buzz, hearing a song on the big sound system that I'd made only hours earlier. I feel like having a self-imposed challenge like that really helped me to overcome a creative hurdle. I believe that finding these challenges throughout the rest of the month could prove important in maintaining my creative output. It's nice to get out the studio, isn't it? Yeah, I've heard David Guetta does this sort of thing.
It's not the landscape that's boring, it's the depictions of it that become boring. You can't be bored of nature, can you?
What I realised is I've been doing a lot of quite similar things musically, and I think now I need to branch out a little bit. And with that being said, this morning I've spent £1.75 on a fire engine that makes funny noises. So I'm going to sample this today. It's got the drive-in sound, alarm, and then the party piece. Got my water tank in there, and I've got my tools in there. So I'm going to sample these sounds. Here we go, let's record this. Nino, Nino, here come the fire brigade. We like the police, but a bit less controversial.
Can I just go on record and say, you know, I'm not a violent man. I never have been. But the one thing I do fight is fires. Extendable crane for multi-storey buildings, yeah? That's all my equipment in there. It's not just a job, it's a lifestyle.
Here we fucking go, lad. Dust off the old tuner. So our battery's fantastic. You know what? Fucking... why does everything have to be so frustrating? I'm getting so easily annoyed by every little thing, every little hurdle. Cameras do this, make sure it sound's coming out the right output. Fucking had enough. Why was everybody staring when the sweet corn sandwich was trying to play his guitar? Because he forgot his tuner. Where the fuck's that gone now? Oh, I hate this so much. Around the halfway point of the challenge, I think it's important to note that what I've shown you has mainly been the highlights. In reality, the month has been scattered with days of frustration and mediocrity, days when I wasn't really feeling it. It was helpful and quite freeing at this point to realise that I didn't need to love the creative process at all times. Of course, for the most part I really enjoyed it, but every day was scattered with moments of struggle. It was in working through these difficult moments that I began to build up some form of creative resilience. The ability to turn up and have a go, even when I wasn't up for it. Sometimes I feel like I have to wait for the perfect time to start, all the right conditions to be in place, rather than just getting on with it. And this month was helping me improve at that. I've been to British Red Cross today, and I've picked up some records because I've been quite interested with looking up dance tunes that sample other songs. For example, Chaka Khan, which is sampled on Stardust's Music Sounds Better With You. This one, Silk, I Can't Stop, in brackets, Turning You On. But I can reassure. That's used in Oh, You Hit the Flame, but Penny Passion. And there's endless more examples of that. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to try and do today. Just going to try and make a smash hit. So today I've got For the Good Times by Pericomo. Heaven 17. Crushed by the wheels of the industry. Starship, We Built This City. Two Little Boys by Rolf Harris. I wonder what that one's about, Rolf. Over the next few days, I will sample one record per day, building a new track using recycled snippets of the original. So he's singing there. He's saying yes, yes, sing. As you can hear, this process got off to a slightly rocky start, but with a few more records to explore, I decided to push on.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and we built this city on rock and
As you can see, I quickly grew to enjoy the limitations that sampling a single record gave me. Lady Marmalade by LaBelle. Alright, dust is off. By narrowing my creative options from the outset, i.e. saying to myself, I must create something today using this record, it made it much easier to get started. That's a nice bit. Sometimes there's just too many options, isn't there? Too many potential avenues to explore that it becomes overwhelming. What I'm doing here is I'm just looking for small samples of the song to use and then stretching and warping it to fit to a quantized beat. And then these short segments that I've cut up can be rearranged and played in a new order and looped. I found it a very exciting and interesting process. Fantastic day today. I sampled Lady Marmalade and I feel like it went really good, like I enjoyed it quite a lot. I'm going to talk about a concept. I'm going to butcher it now. It's a concept that I'm ripping off some podcast I've heard it on. It's just about riding a wave, you know. And I've never surfed in my life, but I can picture it. You've got to be willing to take that gamble to put yourself in the position to ride the wave. You know what I mean? And it's a gamble, that, because sometimes the wave might not be very good, but you've got to get yourself in the right position, get yourself set up so that if a good wave comes, you're on it. But not every wave's going to be a good wave, is it? In fact, good waves might be really few and far between. But if you're there every day in the position to catch one, when a good one comes, you'll get it, won't you? And you've got to be willing to sit there for all these tiny little waves, rubbish waves that you can't get on. And that's not really your fault, is it? If you've made the effort, got there, and you're in the position to catch a wave and the wave doesn't come, you don't need to take it out on yourself, because that's not in your control. If anything, just like pat yourself on the back, because you've got your wetsuit on, you've got your board out, and you're in the water ready. You've done what you can. It ain't gotta be perfect every time. It ain't gotta be perfect.
to make a start. You got to make a start. It ain't gotta be perfect. It ain't gotta be perfect every time. It ain't gotta be perfect. But you got to make a start. You got to make a start.
My month of creativity was gradually drawing to a close. I'd found it very challenging, but despite this I felt I had gained valuable insight. Through my persistence, I'd made some work I was proud of and plenty of work that I wasn't. The main thing I had gained, however, were key tools that I felt I could utilise next time I was in a period of creative drought.
If I'm to only make stuff when I'm inspired, I might make one thing a month, or one thing every 3 months, or even like one thing a year, because you never know when that piece of inspiration is going to come from. Like, if I was to only exercise when I watched the Olympics and I got inspired, I'd only go for a run like once every 4 years. I can't be doing that, just waiting around, just hanging around waiting for something to hit me and be inspired by that. I have to actively seek it out, and I don't have to be scared of it not going well, because there's nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Because imagine if you just let that fear of making something bad stop you from starting, which I think it does, certainly with myself a lot of the time. Well, what's the point of that? Because then you're just going to make nothing. Rather than making a lot of bad stuff and a lot of good stuff, you make nothing because you're worried about making a bit of that bad stuff. It's like the manager of a quarry going, well, we've got 13 million in terms of diamonds, but I'm not happy with all this stone that you've brought with it. Well, here we are. This is it, my final day. Today I'm going to sample The Show Must Go On by Four Tops. It's, from what I remember, it's quite a happy tune, and it'd be nice to take some a nice happy sample from it and make something happy to end this film with.